Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Doc.
One Doc.
It's your girl, BD.
It's Foreign's the fiance.
And we are back.
Guys, you're going to hear some, background noise because we're recording during the heat wave. I'm not sure if there'll still be a heat wave by the time you listen to it. And also, you might not be
this
from...
is England.
Exactly. You might not be from this country where there is a heat wave. But, yeah, currently in England, it is Satan's balls degrees. So... yeah, the fan is on.
It's heated.
Yes, heated. It's like a whore at church. But yeah, so that's just that disclaimer.
That's that disclaimer. Great. Okay.
Yeah. So today we are doing the most hated man on the internets.
Sure are.
I had not heard of this guy before this documentary. Had you?
No, I hadn't. The documentary is on Netflix and there's 3 parts.
Yeah.
So we're covering it in 2 episodes. So this will be the first episode. We'll cover episode 1 and half of episode 2, and then next week we will do half of episode 2 and episode 3. Luckily for us, the episodes don't have names, so there was nothing to remember. It was just episode 1, episode 2, episode 3.
Oh, even if they had names,
I know. I'm more so for myself because I would have written them down. So
I would not.
But I never heard of him.
I had never heard of him.
This is not my side of the internet at all.
Yeah,
I was oblivious.
I don't know what part of the... I don't know who that man is.
I don't know who that man is. Sorry to that man.
Yeah, this is a very scary part of the internet. But this documentary is so far from my mind because I feel like I just watched it and then... I don't know. Maybe I erased it from my memory because it was so traumatic.
Maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, this documentary covers Hunter Moore and his escapades. But let us get into it for those of you who were wondering who we were talking about. So it opens up with a woman called Charlotte Laws. And she's driving around, cruising around in her... She has a very mum car. It really stuck out to me because it's the exact kind of car I would not want. And she's cruising around in her car and, she's just... You know that thing Netflix always does where it's like, oh, we're trying to be elusive. So they're not really talking about what the documentary is about, but she's just chatting and it's like, okay. Yeah. And she's telling us a whole life story about how she's married and she has a daughter called Kayla. And she has a husband, but her husband is from England and he's not Kayla's dad, so he's not her baby
He's
daddy.
and his name is Charles.
Yeah,
Charles. Quintessentially British. He's just so and he's old as well. It's not like he's some 56-year-old.
He must be in his 70s. It's given Charles Xavier.
Yeah, he must be in his 70s, 80s, 90s.
So we learned that Charlotte lives in LA with this family of 3, and her daughter Kayla wants to be an actress, and don't they all in LA? Don't they fucking all? So in the interim, as they all do, Kayla is working as a waitress. It's very Jennifer Aniston. And she gets a call from a colleague, which I thought was weird because we see this I almost said role play, kinky. No, we see this
reenactment.
But yeah, that is the word I was looking for. We see this reenactment of this. I don't know if it's Kayla or something. But actually, can I just say, some of the reenactments in this documentary, they use the real people.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. I'll tell you when we get there, okay. But they do, and I'm just that's fucking weird. You're a fucking weirdo. But anyway.
Yeah, but they do that sometimes in documentaries, and it's kind of it just weird. Makes it so obvious that it's a reenactment. I know it's a reenactment, yeah, and that's the point. But you're making someone relive their possible trauma or relive the thing that. But
it's more. I just think that do you not have something to be doing? Why would you go and reenact?
Isn't it enough to just they've said it to camera? We get it.
Literally, it's weird. But we see this reenactment. It looks like a diner kind of place, and she gets a call. It's very 80s, but it wasn't in the 80s.
It's like that Riverdale diner.
yeah, or Saved by the Bell. That kind of diner. Yeah. And basically, her colleague from work, which is really embarrassing. Not obviously, I'm not victim shaming, but it's just embarrassing because it's her colleague that has to tell her, not a friend. But her colleague basically tells her, bro, you're on this site called Is Anyone Up? And it's basically her leaked nudes. And she's distraught. And this is why I say it's embarrassing because it's a colleague. I wouldn't want my colleague seeing
for sure that people at work know.
Yeah, I wouldn't want my colleague seeing my cooch and my tits. But yeah. So she immediately calls her mum, which I think is really, really cute, to be honest. Because there's some people that just wouldn't be able to tell their parents in that kind of situation.
That's true.
And she feels like this is going to ruin her life because she wants to be an actress and all of that.
This isn't that will propel her career.
Well, to be honest, you would say that, but there's this thing because a lot of a lot of porn stars want to be actresses. So
it has to go the other way around, right? It can't go. Yeah.
There's a stigma of like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
It's true. It's true. Again, that's actually just so very dumb. But yeah.
But it's so funny because like if you watch porn, you can actually tell the people that want to be actresses. I feel
using
like,
it as an audition.
Fam, it's like, bro, like Steven Spielberg isn't gonna watch this and think suddenly, oh my gosh,
then he might. But then also he's not gonna cast you.
He's not gonna cast you.
So he's watching for different purposes.
Literally, even if he thinks, oh, like she really was sucking that dick with all the like
with conviction.
Yeah, he's not gonna cast you, right? Okay.
So you don't know someone's life.
That's true. We should do a whole episode.
Anything can happen.
Not that kind of pod, but yeah. So Charlotte starts getting to work. So Charlotte, once again, as the mum, starts getting to work on deleting the picture. She goes to the site and she sees all sorts of different women. But at first she's like, okay, maybe it's like young girls or something. But she gets there and it's all types of women, all types of body shapes, able-bodied, like all like people with disability, like all types of people are all types of bread are on that site, right?
All types of bread. I have butter bread. That is literally one of the most classic videos that ever touched YouTube.
Yeah,
like literally that was like viral before viral even went viral.
Very much so.
It's like now when I see like Hema doing her thing on Twitter and stuff, I'm just like, yeah, you have earned this.
Was that her?
Yeah, and her siblings.
I didn't know that. So yeah, we see all types of women and there are loads of like comments, like it's very like it's given incel, like very abusive and just
it's giving what you think it's giving.
Yeah, like it's a different thing
people
now.
Are being very derogatory and stuff, and
I feel like obviously the violation is a violation, but obviously it's I don't want to say a softer blow, but it's not added salt to the wound if people are not being derogatory, like when you're new to
people are judging you. Like it's not like I mean all of this is bad, but like your boyfriend showing his friends your news and that, and whatever comments they've had and nobody's ever heard them. This is like he's inviting people on the internet to come and talk about you and chat shit about your picture that you didn't even consent to be on there. Yeah,
it's insane. So when so Charlotte's like, who the fuck is running this site, right? Because it's crazy. And like she didn't have to go looking far, it was Hunter Moore. And he wasn't hiding.
He's not hiding. Literally, he's not hiding.
His shit. It's not like today where there are loads of like fucking burner accounts. And that's another reason I left Twitter, for those that keep asking. Like the amount that like just the trajectory, just the amount of burner accounts and bots. It was just ridiculous. Like I found it scary how many people must just not have lives. Like it was very frightening. So it's clear that he's trying to be internet famous, and he's trying to be internet famous before it even is a thing. And it's not like internet famous like like some of the people we find funny, right? Like no, he's trying to be like that.
Or like Kick and like all that kind of stuff. Like back then, was it Kick? Was it Keek? What was that app called? And it became Vine.
Then maybe it was Keek.
And it was like 4-second videos or something.
Yeah. But like some of those people are just funny, right? He's trying to be like this weird kind of like dark. Yeah, like he ran so Andrew Tate could walk, basically.
Yeah, he walked so Andrew Tate could run.
Yes.
Yeah, and fly.
Yeah,
and hopefully crash and burn.
I'm anxiously waiting. That's a whole other podcast episode.
Yep, 100%.
But so we see clips of Hunter, and basically it's given like.
Sorry, just to go back to Andrew Tate. Don't you just think it's wild? Like maybe it's just me and my sphere of internet, but I hadn't heard a thing about Andrew Tate, and then Kevin Samuels dies, and then all of a sudden he's like reincarnated, replaced with this whole other guy, like who's just spewing the same rhetoric.
No, I had absolutely not fucking heard a thing about Andrew Tate, and then
Kevin Samuels dies, and all of a sudden.
Yeah. I agree. And unfortunately, I had the displeasure of coming across him on TikTok.
Mate,
and then it was annoying because I was like, who the fuck is this? So, you always go and click because you're like, who the fuck is this? And then now, like, every, like, 6 videos, one of him will come up, like, and I'm just like... Oh.
I saw a video of, like, some girl's boyfriend, like, mocking him. And so when I saw what he was mocking, I was like, oh, okay, this guy seems like a dickhead. But who is this guy? And then when I saw who he was, I remembered a video of him before. And he was, like, wearing sunglasses. And the woman was wearing sunglasses. The woman he was talking to was also wearing sunglasses. And he was like, oh, well, you're not going to take off your sunglasses and look me in the eye. But he still had his sunglasses on. And I was just like, the fuck?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but...
Strange guy. Very strange guy.
I can't wait till he isn't a thing, like, quite frankly, like...
Yep.
I remember when men were trying to make us feel bad for not feeling bad that Kevin Samuels had died. Like, bruh, that is none of my business.
None of my business, none of my business.
So, Okay, so Hunter is giving very much like emo frat boy on crack, like quite literally on crack.
Yeah, it's very like, bro, dude.
Dude,
kind
like,
of
oh my
vibes.
god,
Oh my god, bro. No way, bro.
Oh my god, bro. Like, it's very like, yeah, it's just giving like Pete Wentz in like the early 2000s, but like on crack.
But without the good songs.
Yeah. Meanwhile, did you know he was like a quarter black?
I knew that the music had to come from somewhere, you know.
Do you like his music?
Yeah, what's he? Is he the Panic at the Disco one or the Fall Out Boy one?
I don't know.
He's from one of them, and I like both of them because when I was in
I need to see his nipples. That's when
Is that how you know who it is?
No. It's not like I've got a thing for nipples. It's just that, like, you remember, like, I don't know if you remember when Hazley or Halsey, I don't know how to pronounce her name, when she had a baby, and then she had this like picture of herself and her nipple was out, and then it was like brown, and everyone was like, oh, so like that's where the black went. Like, I need to see his nipple to be like,
you're actually so stupid.
Is that where the black? Because I don't see it in him. His mum,
you're actually so stupid.
is literally Jamaican.
His mum is Jamaican. His mum is half Jamaican.
His mum is Jamaican, but I think she's like mixed Jamaican. Do you know like
is his mum like light skinned? Is she light?
She's light and curly hair. Yeah.
That's so interesting. There's this other like, oh, my sister's gonna be so annoyed with me. There's this footballer, yeah. He plays for some team in England, yeah. And he is, I think is he half black or a quarter black or something? And it's like he doesn't
Look it.
I don't know where the genes said not today, Satan.
It's crazy.
Genetics is so weird though.
It's really weird.
It really does what it wants. And we're just here trying to explain it.
Literally, it's just vibes.
Just vibes. Just vibe.
So now we meet Kira Hughes, and I feel sympathy for her at the beginning, but then I don't. But we'll get into her. So we meet Kira.
Which one is Kira? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I just reminded myself of which one she was.
Yeah. So we meet Kira Hughes, and she's in San Francisco, Wyoming.
I'm in San Francisco jamming.
Is it jamming?
I don't know. That's what I say. I'll be doing whatever lyrics I feel makes more sense.
Vibes. So that's where she lives. That's where she stay at, and she is now Hunter's ex-girlfriend. So basically, she says that
that means that at one point she was his girlfriend. Let's keep that in mind.
And that is why
therein lies the problem.
Right. So she basically says that, like, yeah, they're doing the up relationship and everything, and one day he tells her that he's created this website, Is Anyone Up, to expose an ex.
Well, it all started with me hating some dumb bitch who broke my heart, really, and that's how it started, dude.
And it always fucking starts that way.
Wah, 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 tiny violin, boo,
literally,
tomato.
It always fucking starts this way. Like,
are you the first person to chop breakfast? Like, I don't understand. Are you the first person? Are you the first? Are you the last? Like, hearts get broken every day, B.
Y'all niggas need therapy.
You need to dust yourself off and try again. That's what you need to do. You don't go making websites to expose people.
So the site actually blows up when he starts posting famous people, like, and when I say famous, I'm not talking about Beyonce. I'm talking about like,
we're not talking A-list.
Literally, we're talking,
but
like,
famous in that sphere of the internet.
Yeah, literally. It's funny because we see this like montage of like this band who was, and it was a nice.
They're like screaming, innit?
Yeah.
Is this the Tampa, Florida one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, like, I just found it really interesting because they were talking about like just the time. It was the best of times and the worst of times, and just like. Like how at the time they were all using sidekicks, and I remember like that sidekick was all I ever wanted.
I wanted a sidekick. I never got one, but I wanted a sidekick so badly. Like, it was the best.
You flip it up. Your thumb.
I'm gonna post it in case any of our listeners are too young to know what a sidekick is. I'm gonna post a picture of it. Like, you just flew, and then you have the keypad, and then you. That was around the time of pastries, you know.
Yes,
it was all around the same
time. Did you have pastries?
No, I never got. Did I? I think I did get pastries. Actually.
I did. I think I did.
They were white and they had like the trim was like. Oh yeah. Did I?
Mine were like purple and like pink.
Oh, and me and my friend at school we were planning to have. This just unlocked a memory. Yeah, we were planning to do like a pastry party, and like everybody had to just wear pastries like to come to the party.
Not discrimination in the nation.
It's called a theme. Thank you very much.
So what if you cannot afford? Those shits were not cheap.
I'm sorry for your damn luck.
No brokies allowed.
I don't even think you could get them in the UK. It was all the like America trips. I don't think you could get them in the UK.
No.
Could you? Because it wasn't internet like that. It wasn't like internet shopping like that.
How did I get it then?
Americana.
I mean, I know we go regularly, but
back then we used to go, and it used to be £2 to $1. No, $1, $2 to £1, because everything was like double when you would go there back in the day. Back
The
in
good
my
old
day.
days. The good old days.
Mate.
Yeah, nah, those were the best of times and the worst of times.
And the worst.
But you know,
Now
my
it's the worst
sister-
of times.
My sister was saying, she was like, noughties fashion and like the vibe and all of that shit, like noughties to all the way to like early, like
2010s.
yeah. She was just saying that like the fashion, it will never come back again, and I agree. Like, it was just terrible. Like, I can look back at 80s fashion and be like, oh, I appreciate this.
Yeah, I
I
get
appreciate that. There's actually nothing
was
about
like
that.
it was actually just a
such
bunch
a
of
dark
shit.
time.
That's when the House of Derion was doing their thing as well.
Fam,
It
like,
actually was crazy.
It was crazy. I just remember like t-shirts with like waistcoats over them. Like, what the fuck?
But the thing
was
is, it's
going
coming
on?
back, but as like
How?
as kind of like a theme. It's like a reference, like a
Oh yeah, like themed parties.
yeah, exactly.
But you know
it's
how
not,
like
not in society, like in real
exactly,
life. Like no one's really doing that.
No, you know how like we wear boot cuts again, and I remember my mum saying, "Oh, but when I was buying my bell bottoms, you people were saying that they weren't
I love a bell bottom
But like now people wear all those things, but like literally
from the
noughties
80s,
fashion,
70s,
noughties
yeah.
fashion will just never
It's
come
true.
back.
And then also like, what is this fashion like? These days, it's just cutouts. That's our legacy.
Yeah,
It's just cutouts
guilty.
because everything else is just everything else coming back. There's what's really been established these
It's
times.
true. One day
Cutouts.
our kids are gonna dress up like us, and they'll just wear like bare cutouts. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe people used to dress like this.
I will say me too, sis.
Same.
Fashion
I'll
Nova.
say.
Do you know what? I even went to a couple of charity shops the other day. Yeah, I started sewing, and so I was like looking for different things to buy and also whatever. So basically, yeah, so many of the things in there are like Pretty Little Thing, Misguided. Like, it's actually so sad. Like, you go through it all, and it's just all fast fashion, all of it. And the whole point of going to charity shops, yeah, and I went to like a nice area. The whole point of going to charity shops is to get good quality stuff from like old people and stuff when they die. Like, I remember my friend getting a designer dress for like mad cheap. That's the whole point of charity shops. And now it's all like Pretty Little, even Zara. I went to British Heart Foundation. It was all Zara. If I wanted Zara, I'll go and buy Zara. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's crazy.
I'll actually just go to the source. It's
I
so
guess-
wild.
I guess
Imagine
it
20 years from now, 30 years from now, what's going to be there?
I know. I guess it works for those who can't afford.
That's true.
Yeah,
like to
so
get
they
new
can
season.
they can still dress appropriately, but in terms
They can still
of-
have options as well.
as for me in my house, if I'm going thrifting, I'm looking for Gucci, Prada, Fendi, honey. Like,
That's the thing. You're literally going to look for like,
yeah.
stuff. But I guess it depends on what you want. And again, like you said, it's a nice alternative. And like every charity
Yeah.
shop I went to, they were like, there were so many people in there. Because obviously, cost of living crisis is wild. Yeah, there were so many people in there. And I was just like, I mean, I hear it. It makes a lot more sense than actually trying to go and buy stuff that's overpriced or whatever. But yeah, it was crazy.
It's sad.
It's really sad. It's really proper sad.
Like, literally, I was watching a TikTok the other day. I don't know if I told you about this because I've been telling everybody about this. This girl works in Starbucks, £10 an hour, and full time. And she was doing the calculations, right, of her salary. And basically, she was talking about how, like, the month before she was so broke, like, she had to steal tampons from Poundland because she didn't have a pound. So it's like, it just
Mate,
working
I hear
working
it.
itself.
That's the kind of
doesn't
thing that
make
you
sense.
see, yeah, and you don't say anything. You don't report that. If I see you
Of course.
stealing tampons, if I see you stealing food,
If I
nappies,
still
whatever.
see-
No,
I'm
I
not
didn't.
saying shit, literally. Like,
Yeah.
and the thing is just that, like,
You
it
have a
just-
full-time job.
Yeah, like, so it's almost like working does not make sense because, like,
Working
you're
means that you're not in debt, or you're in less debt than you would be otherwise.
but you can't live.
Yeah, exactly. So what's the point?
No,
It's actually so crazy. I saw this TikTok of this guy. He's a teacher in Dubai now, but he used to teach in the UK.
Oh, yeah, I saw
and
that
he was like
TikTok.
comparing the salaries. He was paid more here, but he took home way. I think after everything, he took home like maybe under £200 a month,
Yeah.
and there it was like £1,000.
Yeah, over £1,000. It was
Yeah,
$1,500.
yeah, exactly. It's crazy. This place, the pits.
Heebie-jeebies. That's what this
Mate.
country gives me.
Mate.
Fucking jeebies.
Where do we go? I don't know.
Mate, to the grave.
God forbid, oh, please have life to live.
But anyways, so yeah, like I said, the site blows up, blah 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 blah, sidekicks. Cool. So
Pastries, cool.
we learned that what made Hunter Moore's site unique was that he would actually attach people's social media to the posts. So like he'd post
Mate.
your nudes, and then he would have like your
That
a
is-
snippet of your Facebook, your Twitter. So it's like, go and find this bitch.
Exactly. And it's like, you can't then just be like, okay, do you know what, fuck it, like, this is on this website, it's isolated. No, people are now going to be hurling abuse at you everywhere that you are on social media. And Facebook is so personal as well. Like, people be putting everything on Facebook.
Well, especially
Not
back
me though.
then.
Be safe.
Not so much now, unless you're my dad.
Back
But
then, mate.
we're back to Kayla now, and basically because her social media was linked, she was being inundated with like calls, messages, just being harassed. And obviously, even back then, like if you had someone's Facebook, I actually think people used to even have their numbers in their Facebook. I can't remember correctly, but
I don't remember them times.
even back then, you could easily find someone like if you knew who that person was, and there'll always be one weirdo boy that you went to college with, or whatever. They'll share your number. Like it's no surprise that people got her number.
Yeah.
So Kayla is now trying to explain what happened with these pictures. She said she took the pictures in her room and then emailed them to herself because basically her phone ran out of storage.
That is so funny because like,
And
wow,
then-
we've come such a long way with technology.
We've come such a long way. Such a long way. That being said, I still fear the cloud. I really still fear the cloud.
Same.
Yeah.
But I think my stuff uploads there automatically, you know.
I know, but I just... Yeah,
anyway, ignorance is bliss, so.
Fam, if somebody has my nude somewhere, more power to you.
Well.
And then basically, so she emailed them to herself because she ran out of storage. And then she noticed that a few days later, she's bounced out of all of her social media and has to reset her passwords. So let's keep that in mind because basically she's feeling like she's been hacked. So her pictures had to have been stolen.
Yeah, because she didn't send them to anyone.
Yeah, she did.
And when she first said this, I was like, okay, you're chatting shit. Like, if you send it to someone, that's fine. Like, that's actually okay. It's still not your fault that this happened. But like, let's not lie. Like, you sent it to someone, but she didn't.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. But then also, it was kind of like the first person she called was her mum. So her and her mum obviously have a cool enough relationship. Like, why would she then lie about this particular part of things? She just wouldn't have said anything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So then I was like, okay, cool. Like, maybe she actually didn't send it to anyone.
So the site actually says you can have your pictures removed. All you need to do is like email in and explain why you should have them removed. So Charlotte basically emails in and says, listen, like my daughter was hacked. We have proof that she's been hacked. And like basically after like asking for this proof, Hunter just airs them. Like he never comes back to them. He never responds.
Mate.
So in Florida now, and we meet Brian, who was one of the like Screamo band members.
This guy's a fucking dickhead.
Wait, but you know what? I just remember, I remember that there was this girl that was in my, it wasn't classics. It was, I'm trying to remember this. It was English lit, and she used to listen to Screamo. And
yeah,
like
where people do that.
And it's just like she was like, yeah, like she finds it really relaxing, and like she played me song, yeah, and she was like, yeah, like basically they take everyday songs and they just make them screamo, and then she like played me like one of
it's not original songs.
No, like
I guess there are some original bands.
Yes, there are some, but like she played me like this Destiny's Child song. Like it was actually disturbing. Like I felt like I needed to pray after that. Like what is going on?
That's crazy.
But yeah, we're in Florida now. We meet Brian, and like he was part of the Screamo band, and he says he checks anyone up every day, which is
like he's a fan. Like he's coming across like a fanboy of the site. Like he goes on it to pre it.
And I just feel like I get that like you can find community everywhere, right? But not all companies good company. That's number one. And number two, you really do have to check yourself and say. Actually, that being said, it's like me saying, yeah, like I used to be on, it was Bebo, right? I used to be on Bebo. I did used to be on Bebo every day. So I guess, but then I wasn't.
No, but that's different because Bebo, there's a purpose to it. Or like Habbo Hotel and stuff. Like there's a purpose to it. You're doing stuff on it. It's not at the expense of anybody else. So no, that's not the same thing.
I guess.
That's not the same thing. Like this whole thing, it's like you being on, I don't even know.
Twitter every day.
Well, maybe,
even though Twitter is fucking problematic.
But yeah, it's just because the sole purpose of this website is to like expose people without their consent. Because there was a bit where I don't know if it's happened now or if it happens later, where it's like if you wanted to self-submit, you couldn't. Like say I decided I want my nudes on there, I couldn't self-submit. Someone else has to submit it on like
which is
so there basically has to actively not be consent.
Yeah, this is the
website that he was checking every day to see.
Yeah. So he's like he's one of them like cock in hand refreshing that page every day, right?
Or maybe he's just really sadistic and like sad and like he is there for the comments, because I think and I don't want to say brilliant as if it's a good thing, but the brilliant thing about this Hunter Moore guy is like he made this thing interactive. It wasn't just here's a blog and here's pictures of like girls who don't want their pictures on there. It's that, and then also let's all comment. So now you're building community and everyone's there for like the comments. Like, you know, sometimes you'll see a tweet or you'll see a TikTok and it's not even so much about that, it's about the comments and what everyone is saying. Usually it's like funny haha vibes, but in this case it's people looking to see, oh my god, lol, like he called her fat or he called her ugly or he called her this,
and like
and that's what you're on there for. Yeah, that's fucked.
It's fucked as hell.
It's real.
So he says that, oh yeah, like you love it until you're on it, and it's like, oh,
Exactly. So why did you love it? Why did it take you being on it to like?
feel
This is
the
what I don't like about people
empathize, yeah.
sometimes. Yeah, like why do you have to experience something to be able to sympathize with others who've experienced it? Like,
Yeah.
can't you just look at their situation and be like, oh, that's actually fucked. Like that shouldn't be happening.
yeah, as a
Why has it
human
got to
being,
happen
that's
to you?
fucked. Yeah,
Yeah. Why has it got to happen to you first? And they're like, oh, now I get it. Now I see.
Yeah.
Like the fuck.
So basically, this is a really weird story, but he says he's out with a friend, and like he goes to the restroom, which is pretty normal. Like you go to the toilet, leave your phone, right? And then she takes his phone and posts his nude because she thinks it'll be funny. She posts it on the site, right? And it's just like, bro, like even if I was gonna do some fucked up shit on my friend's phone, how would you know that they had nudes? Maybe he'd been telling her that he'd been sending nudes. Yeah,
Maybe she's like seen them before. Maybe they like shared nudes or whatever. I don't know.
yeah. So Brian calls Hunter because he knows him, and basically asks him to remove the nudes, and Hunter's basically like, no.
Exactly.
And
I'm not
Brian's like,
changing
oh,
the
yeah,
rules. It's
yeah,
just business.
and you know what? That's one thing I rate about him. Like
Yeah,
he's an
consistency.
equal opportunity hater. Like bro, anyone can catch. Like it doesn't matter if I know you.
It's how I feel about Gordon Ramsay. Like Gordon Ramsay's like, I hate everybody.
But he doesn't hate his family though. He's so like
Yeah,
he's like a
but-
different person.
Yeah, but that's fine. There's levels, isn't it? Like,
But Hunter probably would have posted his mum. I'm telling you the gospel truth. He would have posted her. Like
he would have submitted it.
he would have submitted his mum. Like if he could have. I'm telling you.
It's true.
So I think Hunter I'm not sure if this term existed before this, but he seems to coin the term revenge porn because he says his site is a site for vengeful exes. So that is the purpose of his site.
Yeah.
It's for vengeful exes to upload like pictures of their ex and get revenge on them. And again, he was an equal opportunity hater because men also were on there. It wasn't just women.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, in his own way, he was admirable. So
He had a code.
he had a code.
It's like, you know, with gangsters, it's like they kill everyone but not women and not children. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
it's really bad that you're killing people, but at least there's, you know.
And they will always do that sign of the cross after killing. Like there's a code. You didn't know that?
No, what is this, mafia or is this just niggas?
Yeah, mafia.
To be honest, I watched one mafia documentary. It's actually really good on Disney Plus about Sammy the Bull.
Okay.
You know, the one that snitched.
No.
Okay, never mind. Did you watch Mob
Is it?
Wives?
I was about to say, is this to do with Mob Wives?
Karen's dad, yeah.
Okay, no.
That's why no one liked her on the show, because her dad snitched.
But I've heard.
Yeah.
I think it was my sister that was telling me. But yeah, they do the sign of the cross after they kill
too.
someone. Crazy.
Bring God into it. In my neck.
But them men are very religious. They're staunch Catholics, you know.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's why religion doesn't make sense. Like, being religious is, what is it? It's just following rules and regs. Do you know what I mean? If you really truly have a relationship with the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ,
There are things you just
out
won't be
here killing?
doing. Exactly.
Thank you. So go church all you like.
So now we meet Reza, and I don't know if anybody watches Shards of Sunset, but if you do, you'll get it. But yeah, so now we meet Reza, and he's Hunter's lawyer, and he's being inundated. He says he's been inundated with calls like every day
Mate,
from people.
this guy is tired.
He is tired from people asking him to take their pictures down. And Reza says that what Hunter is doing is technically not illegal as it's user submitted. And because Hunter's revenue stream is based on advertising, he needs more traffic to advertise. So removing people's pictures would reduce the clicks, hence reducing revenue. So it was just
And
not
also,
gonna
he's
happen.
not taking the pics. He's not uploading the pics. Technically, like it's like suing Google because your nudes are on there, or maybe not as dramatic, but like he's not liable because it's the
He's
people
just-
who are uploading it that are.
Yeah, he's just it's like having a pizza and there's the base, and then other people are the toppings. He's the base.
It's like asking the base to remove the toppings.
Yeah, but then why he takes it a step further is he puts the pizza in the oven. So the pizza could be trash. You don't need to put it in the
This
oven.
analogy is getting nowhere fast.
Think
Think it,
about it.
Barry.
So one talking head says,
As much as I hate to say it, I think that Hunter tapped into something that's deep inside us. He made it appear that you would be very successful by being a complete sociopath on the internet.
and this is true.
100%.
Like this, like think back to like before they started exposing people. Think on Twitter, like I'm not gonna name and shame, but think about some of the Twitter bullies that they've run out now. Like this is all, and some of them even came back and started
Rebranded.
Okay, think about all that shit. People tap into being like crazy. Like, and when I say crazy, I don't
Or
mean
hated.
hated. For them, it's like, because I think the reason why it's easy to tap into being hated is like being liked is difficult, right? Because a lot of people are just not going to like you for different reasons.
And also, they could like you and then not like you based on any small thing that you do or don't do.
And your personality is not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but everybody can unanimously hate you.
Agree that you're into it.
Yeah.
And then the people who don't agree like you, and that's great because they don't dislike you.
And you know that they're a certain level of tapped as well.
Yeah.
So like this is that big brosism because they all keep feeding into each other. It's like, have you seen that picture where like all these guys have their cocks in each other's bums in a circle?
But wait, what?
Okay, I need to find it because
I'm not even gonna post that one before Instagram says,
bruh, computer says no.
Send it to me.
But
yeah,
I'll share it with you. But there's this picture. It looks like a medieval painting, and it's like all these old guys, and like they all have their trousers around their like ankles, and they have their cocks in each other's asses. This is what like social media was like back in the day. It was just big bro, cracking stupid, like being bullies and all of that, and being tapped, like big men being tapped.
And then being encouraged by fellow guys.
Right. Men that were too old and should have known better. So Charlotte was checking the website and saw that Kayla's friend, who was also hacked. I mean, I did have moments where I was thinking, like, does Charlotte not have a job? But yeah, it's good that she was on it.
Yeah. He was also
She's the only
person here that gave a damn.
Yeah. Was also hacked, and her picture got posted, and she basically was like, listen bro, like I want no parts of this. I know my picture's on there, but I am actually afraid of Hunter because he had doxed people privately. So for those people who don't know what doxing is when you post somebody's personal details online, so like address, phone number, things that can allow the wider public to identify them and be harmful. So Charlotte is calling everybody. Like when I say Charlotte is calling everyone, she calls Hunter's mum's office, and she's basically like, bro, like this guy needs to take this picture down. Like,
do you know what Charlotte is? Charlotte is what Dan Schneider thought that he would be.
I was about to say, like this is what he thought. He probably heard of Charlotte and was like, yeah, that's who I'm going to be when I grow up.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out.
But it didn't. No ma'am, no sir.
Yeah. So Charlotte gets an email warning her to actually, sorry to go back. It's actually so sad because the truth is Dan did a lot right for the cause, but my sister was watching. There was a doc like it was a show on like that whole opioid
The pharmacist thing. Oh, the opioid pandemic. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I can't remember what it was called. It's on Disney. Or it's called something. It was about that whole thing, right? Mm-hmm. And like, there's no reference to Dan. And it's just like, bro, like, for all that you did.
But you know what it is? Dan is probably
not
a small part of it. We just saw it from his point of view. And also, again, one of the problems with Dan, and we're talking about Dan Schneider from, I think it was episode 3 or episode 4. We had a 2-part
Wasn't it
on
1?
The pharmacist. It was episode 1. Episode 1 was about Spac Nation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then episode 2 was about Rachel. Mm-hmm. So it must have been 3 and 4. Rachel Dolezal.
Did we do Rachel before that?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Anyway, I think it's whatever. It's one of the early episodes, yeah. And like I think it's because his son died. That was his entry into it, and that was his more sphere of things. But there's no way that this whole thing was solved. The whole opioid crisis was like reduced because of Dan Schneider. Impossible.
Yeah, no.
He has this whole main character syndrome about him, which is why he was so like by the end of it. Like, it was just so like, oh my God, can you relax, sir? Take it easy. Like, the world does not rest on your shoulders, please. People are on it. Qualified people are on it.
Yeah. So Charlotte gets an email, like, basically warning her to back off, and it's signed from the family. So she's like, who the fuck are the family, right?
Bruh.
And upon researching, she finds out that the family is basically Hunter's cult following. Like,
yeah, he must have had, I don't know when this happened and stuff like that, but you know when celebrities started getting their like fans, like the Hive or the Lambs or the whatever the fuck other ones, the Navy or whatever. Yeah, great.
I wonder why Rihanna's is Navy. I guess
I didn't even ask these questions. What's Gaga's one's called?
Monsters.
That's it.
Why do I know these things?
Listen, you were saying you're not a stan, but maybe.
Ask me somebody else's. I feel like I...
What's Ariana Grande's one's called?
Oh, I don't think they have a name.
What's Nicki? Oh, the Barb's is Nicki, right? What's the Cardi? What's hers called?
Is it Bardi Cartel or something like that?
That's too much. Who else would have one? Meg Thee Stallion. What's hers called?
I don't think she has a
She
they
probably
have.
does. Everyone does.
I don't
Everyone
think
does.
that. No, not everyone does. Like you have to reach a certain.
No, but even YouTubers have their own that they've coined themselves.
Okay, they've created it. I don't know what's.
I was trying to decide with Quakey what we should be called. Yeah.
It's isn't it Hot Girls? It's Hot
Oh,
Girls.
Hot Girls. Oh, yeah. That makes, I
yeah.
told you she has one. That makes sense. I was trying to decide with Quakey what we should be called, yeah. And I said that we should be the Quakettes. And he said no.
Or the Quaker Oats. Like, I'll tell him. I'll
Gender
literally tell him
neutral.
now.
Gender neutral. Yeah, you'll see him tomorrow, I'm sure.
Oh, exactly. I'll tell him. I was like, listen, boy, I've coined your
No,
stand
I
base.
still am down with the Quakettes because the Quakettes gives me like
It gives me dream girls.
no exactly
the
but no,
Dreamettes.
it gives me dream girls, but
And
not
your
dream
hair
girls.
right now is giving the same.
What's that with Tracy Turnblad? Hairspray. And
Oh,
you have the
yeah.
3 black girls and it's like, whoa, 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 she wants to rendezvous with the new girl in town.
Yeah.
That's what it gives me, the Quakettes.
But yeah, I'm a lamb. But I'm not like a stan, but I just identify with Mariah
With the
Carey.
community.
Yeah, and the community. Like, they're so chilled.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
The lambs, we are just like whatever, we're chilled out.
Just like your leader.
No, I was gonna say just like the animal, we're chilled vibes. Like we just love her. Let her.
Listen, you have to be chill when you're about to be curry, fam. What are you gonna do? Run.
You are too dumb. But anyways,
So the family.
yeah, the family. These are people who you can tell want their 15 minutes of fame. They do every and anything. Like it's very weird.
Yeah,
And, like,
it's very like cultish. It is cultish.
Yeah, it's a cult. And now basically we learned that no one was.
They call him
as-
father. Did we say that? They call him father.
Girl. No one was as, I almost want to say prolific as the butthole. As the butthole girl.
Mate.
Why can't I say that word? Butthole. Butthole girl.
Butthole.
Yeah. The Moonchy girl. Let's call her Moonchy girl.
No, where's that guy? I need to go on his
I've
Instagram.
been looking for him. I can't find
I
him.
can't remember his name. I can see his face in my head.
I can hear his voice, but I can't remember his
I'm sure
name.
if you go on Google and type in Moonchi, we'll find him. What's his
think?
name? Do you think he's rebranded now?
Yeah,
He can't still
yes. You can't still be talking about Moonchy.
Yeah.
So
Somebody's got
basically, I would buy it. So basically, she wanted to be accepted by Hunter. Like, this is a girl that needed therapy, a lot of therapy.
Yeah, and she just needed support, really.
Yeah.
Because she was
a
so
lot.
young.
So young. She was 19. And she wanted to be independent, take care of her kids and stuff.
Oh, her name is Destiny Benedict, by the way. We literally just said butthole girl and moved on. Her name is Destiny Benedict.
Yeah. Maybe I should give her back her name.
Exactly.
So Destiny, not the child.
Destiny, no child.
Literally. She wanted to leave her mama's house, take care of her kids, her children, and just be independent. And so she says, yeah, like, I'm going to start webcamming, which is fair enough.
Which is fair enough. At this point, like, great. I mean, not great, but, like, fair. This is what
like,
you decided to do.
And it's you controlling the narrative. So
Yeah, no one's
more
having
power
to touch you. There's no danger of,
Yeah. So someone tells her about Is Anyone Up? And that person is not a true friend.
Yep.
And they're like, yeah,
that
like
person hates her.
Literally, you should start posting like your nudes there because it'll be
Then
a
you
good way
can
for
get
to
more
blow up.
traction.
And she was like, yeah, I just thought that if I posted a few pictures, I'll be the cool, elusive, sexy girl. Like, I don't know what people always think. Like, have you seen that meme of that babe from Disney pulling her fringe
Yeah,
out?
yeah.
Like, people always think that that's what they're giving. Like, even me, if I'm on the train and I'm reading a book, I think I'm giving cool, mysterious girl, hair up. Like, bro, you're not giving like that.
No one's even looking at you.
No one's literally like, and I think that was this in essence what happened. She was posting these nudes. No one's really checking for her.
And also, she's 19.
She's
so
19.
I think we should always bear that in mind.
Yeah, but she wanted to regulate her own content, so fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
So next thing, and also remember what I said about like the whole context of this website, right? They don't care for people who post their own nudes. They want to like, they want people that don't want to
have been exposed.
Right. So you coming and doing like mysterious girl when you've posted your own picture, like it's not giving what.
No, it's not giving.
Yeah.
It's not giving.
So anyways, one day she's on this like webcam chat with a few friends and they dare her to put a mousse bottle in her ass.
I mean, there are dares and there are dares, and I just feel like this isn't a dare that you do.
There are no words. Like, do you know I had to clench my bum hole like a lot of times when, yeah. So anyways, someone screenshots this and posts it on the site.
Because of course they do. Of course they do.
But it's just kind of like, this takes me back to like the happy slapping era. Like when we knew that these slaps were going around, there's a certain way you moved, right?
Yeah.
Like you just don't do so. I'm not victim blaming, but like.
Because they should have never been slapped to begin with.
Right.
But if you know a happy slapper is on the loose,
you then know how you position your face. Like, I don't know why she put... Like, even if you want to do it, like, I don't know.
There was no way, like, she was always going to get got. Because she wasn't thinking about it like that. Like, she was young, she was naive. Like, she was basically taken advantage of, living off mum. She literally was taken advantage of, so...
Yeah. So her Facebook is posted, and it has her kids as her, like, background. Header. That's what I'm looking for. And obviously, she asks Hunter to take it down because, like... those are her kids, right? And basically she says that through conversation she realizes that the only way he's going to do this is through butt pictures. And again, like, this is somebody who needed someone, because I'm sure there were other ways. Like,
there weren't other ways. There actually weren't other ways. I agree with her. I don't think she's right, but I mean, to be honest,
no,
I think
but you can't post kids on a pornographic site. So that was.
But it's not a pornographic site, though, is it? Really, it's just a blog that he has, and people just happen to submit. Like maybe if her mum was Charlotte Laws, then there could have been a way. But in her mind, it's like, the only time she gets any traction or any like shine from this website is when she puts the thing in her bum, right? So it's kind of like, right, cool. If I do this again, then. If I do this again, then like maybe that's because that worked one time, it probably will work another time.
I feel like okay, I feel like with sex, right, we know that like if you're heterosexual, a penis enters a vagina. So like now you want to spice things up, you do a bit of anal, great, more power to you. But like, okay, even if you want to use a few toys, but why? Like,
because even with toys, they will always say that any butt stuff has to have like a flared ending, because that's how you end up in A&E. How many emergency A&E shows have you seen where something's got stuck up their butt? That's why they make them like this, yeah? And you're just putting things willy-nilly all up in there and filming it. Like, for your health. You have kids at home waiting on you, depending on you to be alive.
I was actually watching this TikTok and the guy was like, yeah, like, for the love of God, stop putting things up your ass that aren't meant to be in your ass. Like just stop. Like, he's a doctor. It's like, just the amount of things like he's seen in people's asses. Phew.
It's like, just like, please.
Sometimes we stray too far from God.
Too far. We can't
I
even
know
see
that
it
he's
in the
looking
review.
on this earth and crying like, what are y'all doing?
Send the flood.
Send it.
He's trying to burn us. That's what this heat wave is.
Honestly, like, start with all these fucking politicians, Boris et al.
Please, pretty.
Even if it's for how he was dancing at his wedding alone, that was a crime in itself.
Do you know who else they should smite down? Yeah, is what's the one with the wig that says it's not a wig?
Oh
Michael,
God.
is it Fabricant? Michael Fabricant. I'm gonna post him as well.
For that
but he says
alone.
it's not. He will swear up and down it's not a wig.
If I ever see him, I'm ripping it off his head.
100%.
Off his head.
100%.
100%. Fucking head.
I told y'all niggas.
Then you have your 15 minutes of fame. So basically, she's like, yeah, the only way that he's going to stop is to send him more butt pictures, right? Mm-hmm. So he asks her to, and people, do you know what? I find that people are depraved. That's the problem.
Yeah,
like,
that's
people
the word.
Are actually depraved. That is the problem that we are facing right now.
This is the thing, like, they just lack empathy. Like, they just lack any sense of, like, this is a human being. Even that thread on Twitter, I put it on our TikTok here, of people basically just admitting the weird things they did as a kid. Yeah, there's weird things, and then there's like, oh my God, you are depraved things.
Yeah, like,
and it's like, these people are just part of that. Like, they are depraved, because how can you ask someone to? Anyway, sorry.
Yeah,
continue.
he asked her to put a cell phone in her ass, and then he said he's gonna call it and it's gonna vibrate. And then this goes viral.
And it's so dumb, because it's not like in the cartoons where like they'll make the phone light up and then you can see it through the butt cheek. You're actually not going to see.
Which cartoons were you watching, child?
Not you know what I mean though. Like, you know.
No, genuinely, I actually don't. It's not like in the cartoons, and I'm like,
it's not like that episode of Tom and Jerry where
literally like.
But you know what I mean? It's like, it's not okay. Not in the cartoon.
No.
It's not like a cartoon where they put if they were to
I
draw
just don't understand. I mean, okay,
but you know what I mean. Like, this is real life. You're not going to see the phone. You're not going to see the phone ring. So you calling it is for what?
I don't know if he thought he was going to be the vibrating pants like pioneer or what with that thing.
This is what I'm saying. Like, to what end? Like, it's just another level of depravity. Because what was calling the phone
How
going to
do
do?
you put a cell phone in your heart?
Maybe it was like a Nokia 3410 or something.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Because that's more doable, I reckon, than like
Which
an
one is
iPhone.
is the flip phone? Is that the flip phone?
No, the Nokia 3410 is like the one that's like that shape. The one you used to play Snake on.
Okay, but still.
How are you getting it out? You have to shit it out.
What if it turns like this way?
Not horizontal. No, but how would
not a breached birth. Like, fucking hell.
This is above all, yeah. It's weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like, in my opinion, it's fucking weird
you're
putting
fucking
like
hell.
random objects up your bum, yeah. But more importantly than that, yeah, it's dangerous. It's actually dangerous. And in America, where healthcare is not free, are these the risks you want to take? Is that why you want to be left with a bill because you put something in your bum voluntarily? Not that you got shot, not that you got ill, but you up the shitter.
So, bro, this goes viral because again, people are still depraved. Like, even the riders are depraved. And like, Destiny's baby daddies, like, listen, my kids are having no part of this. You're affiliated with
both of the baby daddies do this because she has two different baby daddies. Both of them do for both of them to do this.
I thought she had the same baby daddy.
No, I thought, and maybe this is the same as hard drugs
Either
and
way,
hard drives.
Fam,
All over
either
again.
way.
I thought she had two baby daddies and they both did it. That's what I thought, but I could be
her
wrong.
baby's daddies, dad or daddy does this, right? And do you know what? I don't think women should lose their kids based off of like sex work, right?
Same.
But
especially when it's webcamming, it's not like men are coming into the house.
Yeah.
That one I can understand why people would be like, oh, okay, you're having random people around the house. Which, to be honest, people can have random people around the house anyway, and they're not doing sex work. But I get it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
but I actually agree with this one because of the affiliation with the particular site. Mm-hmm. That site is not just like, oh, Pornhub.
And it's more than that because she started drinking a lot as well during this time. So it's like she's actually unstable.
She's spiraling. Yeah.
And it's manifesting in her performances, I would say, on
and
this
even
website.
You have to be unstable to either which way you slice and dice it to be like affiliated with this site. Like, that's the kind of site that I would go on and like X so quickly. This is one documentary I didn't even go on the website to check if it's still there. Oh, it doesn't, yeah.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't, would it? That's why we have this documentary, I guess.
Yeah, so she becomes depressed and Hunter notices, and he's like you know that picture of like is it the eagle or the vulture waiting?
And it's like,
yeah, he's like that. Like, he's a vulture, just like picking at like.
He is, yeah. It's like he can sense the death about to occur.
So he pretends to be like all caring and stuff like that, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna make you really rich. I know you want to get into like sex work and stuff. Let's get on Skype. Blah de blah, and then he jumps on Skype and he asks her to put her fist in her bum, and she says that like, he's like, you're gonna get famous, you're gonna get so much money, blah de blah de blah, and she says that like, yeah, she was so out of her mind, she was so drunk, she
says no initially.
Yeah,
like initially she actually says no, and then he does, and then she does because he keeps insisting.
And obviously she wants the money.
Exactly, the promise of money. She's 19. Like, I think we have to just keep that in mind.
Yeah. So Charlotte says
backwards. So he screen records it.
Yeah, so I said Charlotte by accident. So she does it. So he records this unbeknownst to her, and then Destiny says it actually ends up on a different website, not his, which means he obviously sold it to them.
I didn't even think of it like that.
Yeah, he obviously sold it to them, and she never gets any money from Hunter.
That is so bad. I didn't even catch that.
It's given Kim's sex tape being sold. Like, it's given that.
Yeah, but didn't she get money from it? And fame and a lifetime of fortune.
Okay, guys, I think we will do a poll about who believes that she didn't know that was going to be sold. I for one do not. It's giving Mimi when Mimi said
not the shower rod.
It's giving Mimi. I'm sorry.
Love and hip hop. I'm not gonna lie. That time of reality TV.
Because it used to be Love and Hip Hop and Real Housewives, and in the peak, the two of them, nah.
Yeah. It was when we were in uni around that time. Oh, it was Mimi and the shower rods. Nah.
Do you think
what's that guy? What's the guy's name again?
Nico the Freako, who looks exactly like fucking Stevie J.
He does, yeah. But they have the same mouth.
Did you really think she didn't know?
Of course she knew. But they had to admit it, no?
Who?
Or did I dream that up? Oh, you're talking about Kim K?
No, I'm talking about Mimi.
Mimi knew.
I
Mimi
think,
knew.
I think
What
she
do you
knew.
mean? Did you see the angles? That shower rod, you knew that the camera was there, fam.
And it was like the sex.
She didn't
tape
lie
was-
correctly.
No, the sex tape was even disturbing.
Did you watch it?
Yes, did you not?
No.
Why did you never got the link, or you got
I
it? when
don't
you-
know. I don't know. I just don't have any recollection seeing it
Oh, so how do you know about the shower rod?
because it came up in the show.
Oh, yeah, I watched it.
Did I watch it? I can't remember. I feel like I'd remember it.
No, I always watch
Yeah, it leaked.
a leaked. It was hard not to. It was everywhere. I always watch a leaked.
We are the people that we're discussing on this podcast.
It's so true. Sometimes you realize you are just as bad. But do you think
Devil's
Kim
in the
knew?
mirror. Do I what?
Do you think Kim knew?
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to Kim Kardashian like that. Like, honestly, like, I don't know
Okay.
nor care. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she did. I don't know. I feel like everything is orchestrated in that family.
Yeah. So Charlotte gets the FBI involved, and I'm just like, I need to know the number for the. Actually, fuck
Anyone.
it. I'm gonna Google it now.
Yep, right now.
Right.
Let's
This
find it.
instant.
Right here.
FBI.
Right now.
Contact.
Right here. Right now. Every time. Every like here. Right
Contact
now.
us.
Wait, contact us.
There's
What,
a
on the
contact
website?
us.
Is it hidden in the corner or is it open for everyone to find?
If it's an emergency, call 911. Which obviously, yeah. If it provides, if it's about
Like a tip.
submit a tip, federal crime report. Yeah, there's a number.
I guess you have to if it's a tip, yeah. But then what about, oh, please hire us to solve your crimes? Is there a link for that?
No, I don't know how the fuck these people are doing it.
It's probably tips though, because they're like, oh, hey, there's this crime happening.
And then they get in.
Whoever
It's
is
like-
managing that line must be exhausted.
It's like when you want to call, like when I wanted to call Virgin to change my ticket, right? Like the customer service line wasn't working. So then I had to call to I had to tell them I wanted an upgrade. Then they put me through to one of the, because
Exactly.
obviously they're going to get more money from
You have to go round and round and round. So
Through
actually,
the
while
back-
I'm here, I actually
the
want
back
to...
door.
Yeah, through the back door, yep. What was that episode that we did?
Everything
what was
needs
it called?
to ask.
Operation Varsity Blues.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It was the scamming. College one.
College scams. So, yeah, she calls the FBI and she says that she feels like Hunter is hacking into people's like things and stealing their pictures, and like if it's a hacking scheme, he can actually get in trouble. Because
Yeah, exactly. Now that's illegal.
at this point, revenge porn is not illegal. Neither is doxing. It's so fucking. It's such a strange.
Oh my
and
days, sorry.
dark
Can we go
time.
back real quick? You know how Destiny didn't make any money, yeah? Hunter gave her a t-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Do you know how rude that is?
She'll always have something to sleep in,
God.
girl.
Sorry, let's continue.
So at this point, Kayla has not told her stepdad, right? Because she's just embarrassed. And then they finally tell him, and he's absolutely useless. He's like, "Oh, just leave the picture
Fam.
up there. If you give it more power."
He's a
like-
lawyer. He's a lawyer. But again,
This
he's
is
old.
Scary.
And I think that's why. It's because he's so
Because
old.
he doesn't understand the internet.
Exactly. He thinks that, like, oh yeah, just don't pay. Like, if someone's bullying you, like, just don't give them attention. They'll move on to
Like,
someone else.
turn
No,
off-
sir.
Turn off the laptop.
This is the internet.
It's everywhere.
So
So
Charles is
anyway-
like, yeah, okay, fine,
Yeah.
I won't help.
And Charlotte is like livid, right? Rightfully
Because they
so.
didn't even want to tell him. Let me finally
Literally.
tell you, and it's like you prove why we didn't want to tell you in the first place.
Exactly.
Such a useless don.
So, anyways, Supermom Charlotte comes to rescue, and she starts contacting other victims. And like, it's really sad because one is a teacher who had been fired and was distraught, and she just didn't know how her pictures got there.
But it's so crazy because like you're punishing someone. It's not as if like she posted on Pornhub and she has like her own like OnlyFans or whatever it is. Yeah, that is. I still feel like, okay, let people do what they want to do kind of thing. But like, I get it. Maybe, you know, kids might see it and whatever. But like, you actually are a victim of something, yeah? All you're guilty of is taking a naked picture of yourself. Who hasn't done that? Do you know what I mean? Or it's like, you're guilty of being naked, basically. And then like someone has, what'd you say?
My mum, I can confirm she has never taken a naked. Like, she will not even face, like, if you FaceTime her and she's not fully clothed, she believes with all her might that there's a way they can take the image of her from the FaceTime. She will not.
Well, this teacher, I feel like it's unfair. She's a victim. So she's been victimized twice. Like now she's lost her job and she's been posted and she's lost her job. It's not her fault. Like
Yeah.
what are you actually firing her for?
This is why I say, like, nothing about the noughties or the early 2010s needs to ever come back.
Yeah.
It was such a dark time.
We're just lucky we were children.
Yeah, it was a really dark time. So now we're in Buffalo and we meet Cara, who was 22 and training to be a nurse. She woke up one day and she said like her life just changed in March 2011 because she was on that site. All her information was on there and she hadn't even sent the pictures to anyone. She reached out to Hunter numerous times and he just aired her. She became depressed and she attempted to end her life. And Cara's roommate found her, because she overdosed and got into her bathtub, and she was in a coma for days. So it's just a snapshot of one of the victims.
Exactly. And how far this can go. It's not just pictures online.
Yeah. And Charlotte gets in touch with Cara, and Cara basically says like this was her last lifeline. Like after she spoke to Charlotte, she felt like there was hope and somebody.
Yeah, because it was so soon after she woke up from her coma. Like
Yeah.
the timing was crazy. I think it was like a few days or so.
Literally. So Charlotte's husband comes home one day and he sees a fax that says, remember faxes? Like,
Mate.
and he sees this fax that says, "Hey, ugly bitch, get off Hunter's dick, or if you don't, we will rape you and put a shotgun down your throat." I don't know why I wrote down your dick. That was very weird.
Because he said if you don't get off his dick.
Yeah. So suddenly he realizes, oh, this
Now
is actually,
Charles, he wants to bamba. He wants to
Charles
chill with
is
the
awake.
big boys.
He's actually awake. He said, "I am awake. I'm here. I'm present."
But this is what annoys me about men, yeah? Why did it take this for you to rise up?
Oh, because they're stupid.
Like, someone's been telling you this. You've been saying, oh, now because if I was Charlotte, I would have sent myself the facts and said, oh, no, look. I would have done a Jussie. I would have done a Jussie and I would have said, oh, look.
No, Jussie. So, basically...
He sent that note to himself. I don't care.
I don't know if he sent that note to himself.
He sent it. He sent it. If you haven't seen the note, it's on our Instagram. He sent it.
I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal. Oh my God. So anyways, suddenly like Charles is awake and then he calls Reza and he's like, bring. Hello. Let me just tell you something. There is copyright law and these pictures belong to Kayla and they were stolen. So if your client doesn't remove the pictures, there'll be huge fees for him, and for Kayla this proceeding will be free because luckily for her, her stepdad is a lawyer, and that's that.
See, but this is what annoyed me even more after he explained it, yeah, because I was like, you could have just fucking done this from the beginning.
Ago.
Do you know how much longer her picture was on there? How many more comments? How many more views? How many more times it could have been shared? How many more phone calls she was getting? When you could have just done this.
Heebie-jeebies.
Like...
So he gives him 30 minutes to take it down, and there's this thing of them refreshing the page.
Yeah.
Refreshing
Oh my
the
God,
page.
it's like, you know when you're doing uni and trying to get into UCAS and you're like refreshing it.
And then finally, he takes down the picture. Literally at the 30th minute.
Yeah.
This final fuck you. So Reza calls Hunter and like he starts the process to remove himself as Hunter's lawyer and is like, okay, it took this much. And for Charlotte, so everybody's like, okay, it's all over. Let's have a party. Woo, it's all done. And Charlotte's like, nah.
Said, nah, the work has just begun.
There are other victims. I will fight for every woman because I'm every woman inside me. And this is the end of episode 1. But it's not the end of our episode. Ha ha ha.
Bitch, you thought.
So episode 2 starts and we see a montage of like Charlotte laws, which is not really relevant to the documentary, but I just thought it was really...
It's like a fun fact, innit?
Charlotte's a bit of a celebrity herself.
She's a babe.
She is like, I don't know how to describe her, but she's a
party crasher.
Yeah.
A celebrity party. Not like as in she fits in, she's able to crash parties, but in like a sophisticated way. She's not out here like banging on doors or like sneaking through windows. Like she
just carries herself like she belongs
confidence.
And they let her in.
Yeah.
Which I actually think is a lot more plausible in America because I feel like a lot of people have really like I was reading this thread on Twitter about this guy who like how him and Drake became friends. And like it just seems like in America celebrities are a lot more accessible than in the UK because obviously and I guess it makes sense because when you travel you're more of an enigma, right? Like a lot of people in LA see a lot of celebrities so it doesn't mean anything to them anymore. But like in the UK like or any other country you're more of an enigma so like it's easier to approach them. Apparently like even when I went to Nigeria I was telling you look I saw Flavour and Patience Ozoko who okay maybe not so much Patience Ozoko but like Flavour is quite a celeb in his own. Yeah, he's Flavour. Like he had his shirt buttoned down and all of that trousers twite, but nobody like it was like he wasn't even a thing. Like I guess in your home turf you are less accessible.
People know
but
who you are.
Yeah, apparently this lady lived a good enjoyable life, and
She did,
sometimes
man.
it pays to be white, because this is she lived such a white person's life.
Yeah.
Like, she spent her youth getting into parties, sleeping with celebrities. She had this like long affair with Tom Jones. Like, she had a good life.
She lived her life.
She lived
She
her
had
life.
a kid. She married a rich man, and she's living her life.
Did she marry a rich man?
I mean, is Charles not rich? He looks like he comes from money.
But I thought, well, her kids. I thought you meant her baby daddy like was rich.
I don't know baby daddy.
Yeah,
But
me
Charles is
neither.
the husband now, right?
Yeah. I thought you googled the baby daddy.
No, I didn't do all that.
But yeah, no, she had a good, like, she lived the kind of life that when you settle down, you can really be like,
I did what I had to do.
Yeah,
exactly.
I was in the
Like, no
streets,
regrets.
like, no regrets.
No regrets.
Like, it's not this one where UK boys are asking your body count. Like, she lived her life, right? Cool. So I just thought that was interesting, and they obviously did, because
It was interesting. I put that down as well.
Yeah. So she feels the victims of Hunter have no one else to advocate for them, so she decides she's going to do that.
Yeah.
And she speaks to 40 victims, and she says out of 40 of them, 40% had never shared their pictures, which means Hunter had been hacking these victims. So she starts contacting reporters, trying to get them to air the story, but no one cares, because it's easier to tell a story about this guy and his crazy website and, like, you know, feed off of that energy than to actually try to bring him down when he's so, in a weird way, like, infamous.
Mm-hmm. I loved it.
So exactly. So she actually calls like a really prominent reporter, and she's like, bro, you have no story, like, fuck off. So she decides, okay, since nobody wants to talk about this story, I am going to be my own reporter. Do you remember when what's her name in the office with the blonde hair, Angela, when they said to everyone that, oh, you can't say at the wedding that Pam is pregnant because her grandma is
Doesn't
gonna
know.
get
Yeah.
and then Pam is like, well, you're very lucky to have a grandma. Some of us have to be our own grandmas. In real life, they're best friends though.
What, Angelina and Pam?
Yeah, in real life, they're
They're
best
both annoying,
friends.
man. They should be friends.
I guess. But yeah,
They're characters, I mean.
basically she has to be her own reporter, because not everybody's lucky enough to have a reporter of their own. So she decides, she's really smart, because she decides, okay, cool, I'm gonna post a blog talking about all this shit.
Is she?
But the address.
Oh, sorry, yes, it's true. That part was smart, yeah.
Yeah. So she
It's
posts
true that
it.
she travels. She goes to Las Vegas.
Yeah, she posts it, and then she puts all the information down about hacking and everything, and then basically she's refreshing the page, waiting for it to blow up. It's kind of like when you post a picture on Insta, you're waiting for the likes to come through, right?
I remember that life. I don't do that no more.
I don't even post that all on Insta anymore. Like, but yeah, she keeps refreshing and everything, and then next thing she realizes that her blog has been hacked and the post has been taken down. So she clocks that, like, there's obviously people in his family or in the family who literally just search his name, and anything they see that's like negative, they remove, like, immediately. So we're now in New York, and we meet a journalist, Camille, who I don't really like, because
I remember who you're talking about now. She doesn't look like her name.
No, she doesn't.
I'll just say that.
So we meet this journalist, Camille, and she is a journalist for The Voice, and she does this story on Hunter, but it's not like a story like an
it's not the story that we want.
Yeah, it's not the story we want. It's literally just like, oh, following this party boy around, woo, fun, drugs and alcohol. And
it's just that it's so weird, because it's like, the site is very misogynistic. Like, we said he's an equal opportunities hater,
woman.
but like, he's very misogynistic, and like, you're a woman, and like, you're following him around, basically letting them do all their misogynistic shit and like reporting on it. Do you think that they rate you? Like, you literally are like prime time for them to chat shit about.
Yeah, and
You're literally the person they would chat shit about.
Exactly. And literally, there's this part. So basically, The Weeknd is really smelly. Like, he does a lot of drugs, has a lot of sex. Like, some of the sex he has is right in front of her. He's lips in his bros. Like, it's all weird, right? Not that guy's lips in, but I just mean the whole,
The whole scene.
The whole scene.
It's just
like,
chaotic.
It's chaotic, right? And then basically, she's talking about this part where they're all in a limo, and like, he's really drunk. Girls are doing like coke, all of his dick and whatever, right? And then like, he's trying to like have sex with this girl, and she's like, no. And like, she doesn't go into details about what happens, but she just is quite adamant that the girl kept saying no, and Hunter didn't give a fuck. And it's like, you still think like, oh wow, like,
This is a story I should be doing.
But they do say that journalists are a bit heartless. So after Camille posts the story on Hunter, she gets a call from Charlotte.
Because she doesn't, and the reason why I think Camille's trash here is because it's not like all this stuff happens and then like she's actually, you know what, gonna take the story to a different angle actually, because I've seen firsthand that this guy's a dickhead and do it like an expose. No, it's still very much like, oh, the crazy life of blah, blah, blah. And it's not harmless. It's not like he's just out here like partying and just being silly. No, like he's actually dangerous and a menace to society.
She's still doing up Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. So Camille has a talk with Charlotte, and she feels like there may be something in this hacking scheme, but that's about it. So Hunter goes on Anderson Cooper, which at the time was a show, and he's confronted by like two of his victims, and we'll insert like the clip of them talking.
Do you feel bad about doing this to, I mean, you don't know these women, you don't know anything about them.
I mean, that's kind of what makes it easier, you know? I mean, you know, it is all anonymous. I don't know these people, and, you know.
But they're sitting right here. I mean, you don't feel any...
No, I mean, no one put a gun to your head and made you take these pictures. Everything's on the internet.
If we're choosing to send them to somebody that we trust, like, that doesn't mean that we expect them to show up on the internet. And there's nothing we can do to keep them out. We have no option to do that.
Like, I want to say, like, they're literally sitting next to him. Like, if he sneezed, he would sneeze on them. That's how close that they got. Just remember that for context.
They would catch COVID,
right?
Actually. So after the interview, like, he thinks that, oh, this is going to be really good. But what he hadn't anticipated is his online persona is for a particular part of the internet.
Yeah.
It doesn't translate to like
to real life and television.
Exactly. So he goes on Twitter on this, and on Twitter, like, literally people are like ripping him to shreds. It's such a bad PR move. But unfortunately,
he blames editing. That's what they always do.
Oh yeah. But unfortunately, the site blows up and he gets even more submissions. However, this starts to put a target on Hunter's back.
This is like what we were saying about like people on Twitter or whatever being disliked, because in these situations, right, you have the people that dislike you and openly criticize you, and like fine, that's literally what your brand is. But then like on the other side of things, people who are also like you, whether they're loud about it or not, now know about you because of how many people dislike you. So they're still like drawing attention to your site, and that's why the site is getting even more submissions.
Yep. So now we meet Jeff, and he is an FBI agent who sees Hunter on the Anderson show and decides he wants to do something about this guy. So Jeff starts looking at the site, and there was nothing legally wrong with the site at the time. However, he hears about Charlotte and the hacking scheme, so they start an investigation. Like in today's world, that kind of site would have to be on the dark web, which I just love.
Yeah, it's true.
So they look into the... Have you ever been on the dark web?
No, I don't even know how to get there. I don't want to know, please. Have you found it?
No, I wouldn't ever, whatever.
Please do.
But,
I need this laptop.
But people were telling me about it, and it's like, it's not the way the internet is. I thought it was like, whatever, like you're given a link to a page, and it's just like... It's almost like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, you know when sometimes you type something into Google, then it goes to a weird site.
Like it glitches.
Yeah, like it's like that, and like you have to, like, you can't just go and search like, child trafficking and then find a child to traffic. Like it's weird, and you have to know which pathways to take, and next thing you could be like on a beheading. It's weird, like it's fucking insane. So they look into the account, and they see that they look into Kayla's account, because they come to her house, like they come to Kayla's house.
Yeah, because they say they're gonna come, and Charles is like, "Lol, the FBI are not coming." And sure enough, Jeff and them man, they all roll up.
I had hoped that this would have been the end of Charlotte and Charles, but they're still together.
Are they?
Yeah. So literally, so they look into Kayla's account, and they find out that she had indeed been hacked, and it's by this like email address, Gary Smith.
Gary Jones 815@gmail.com.
That's the one, Jones. So Charlotte shares the case file she's collated with the FBI, and they're like, this case, like this amount of work hasn't even, like, I haven't seen it in like people who actually work for the FBI. Like, it's wild.
Yeah, she's done a lot of the work for them.
Yeah. So basically they tell her, listen, this is gonna take a year to like get through at least, but that's just not good enough for Charlotte. So we meet Danielle now, who was 21, and she split up from her boyfriend, during which time she had sent him intimate pictures. 2 years later, her pictures pop up on the site, and it is devastating for her. she calls her ex and he says he didn't share them. However, he knows Hunter. And I'm like, yeah, you did share them, bro.
Yeah.
And she messages Hunter to remove the pictures and he doesn't. So now we meet James.
He also says LOL.
Fam.
Can you
Now we
imagine?
meet James. Like, James is just like he scares me, but I love him. Like, is it possible? Like, he scares me so much, but he's the kind of person that he would kill you and he would never get caught for it. Like, he wouldn't even be a suspect.
Like, you need to be on his good side.
But like, literally, he's the kind of guy that would kill for the greater good. Like, I really
Like
love
Robin
him.
Hood vibes.
Yeah, but on crack. But he's not on crack. But Hunter is.
He doesn't have to be on crack.
Yeah, because he has enough energy. So James was a former Marine who now works in IT. And he gets contacted by Hunter to advertise on his site. So he's like, okay, cool. Like, let me look into this. And when he gets there, he's actually disgusted by Hunter's page.
How can Hunter reach out to him?
Can you imagine? And it's just like, this was Hunter was the architect of his own downfall.
Yeah,
because
100%.
this
I love when
guy,
they do that.
Yeah. This guy has like a history like with bullying, of being bullied, right? And like a really traumatic childhood. So he is like so anti-bully, like it's crazy. Like he literally says,
I know I'm smarter than this guy. I know that I can intellectually outwit him and get this site taken down and protect these women. I didn't know exactly how yet, but from that point on, I had one goal, which was to totally and utterly destroy Hunter Moore's life.
Dun,
Dun, dun, dun.
and that is where our episode ends. Will James destroy Hunter?
Will Hunter be destroyed by James?
Will the site continue to exist? Will Charlotte divorce? Oh, I've already answered that.
Will
question.
Charlotte divorce Charles?
Will Caleb
Will
become an
Charles
actress?
stop being bad vibes? Will Kayla become an actress? Find out next week on Two Girls on Dock.
Guys, it's been real.
Before we go though, it's time for
The real crime, I think, was the beard.
our segment where we focus on something that may not be criminal, but we definitely consider to be a crime, minus Charles, because Charles is bad vibes, consistently being bad vibes. And I think it's the British within him.
Yeah, because it's quite deadpan, isn't it? So
It's
there's a
very,
lack
even the way
of-
he speaks. And he said motor car. He was like, oh, you know, in LA, a man can't be without his motor car.
Are you fucking like from
I was like, that's like the
1950?
British equivalent of like vehicle.
But nobody even says that. I've never heard anyone say that.
No,
about
that
him.
generation. Charles is old. Charles has been on Earth a long time.
Yeah,
Motor car.
He's a fossil.
Fossil fuels.
Mine is just generally because this was like it's a documentary that was kind of based in the noughties / so just the fashions really like
Yeah.
it just took me back to a very
The
dark
hair,
time.
the-
The slicked back hair, not slicked back, the spiked up hair.
Yeah.
It's a very dark time.
Very dark time. But yeah, guys, there's no trailer today because we're doing the same episode, the same documentary next week. In the meantime, between time, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Two Girls One Doc, and then TikTok, Two Girls One Doc Podcast. We've been posting a lot more on TikTok, actually. It's a lot of fun. So follow us on there. Let us know if there's any documentaries you want to... what's the word? You want us to cover. Yeah, we're chatting. We need to go and get ready.
Literally, I'm sweating balls. I need to shower.
I need to go and have a shower, and get ready. Boy.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah. Till next time, guys.
All right then, bye.
Bye.